Now we're going to go even further back into history before the Medes. Let's travel to the land of green vineyards, where the prehistoric Elamites used to dwell.
We've decided to make the most of the final days of the summer, so we've planned a short trip to one of the historic and beautiful cities in the west of Iran, the city of Malayer in the province of Hamadan. Stay with us and we can all see what's waiting for us when we arrive together. Our first stop is the Nushijan fortress, which is about 3,000 years old. This is said to be one of the most important Median and Achaemenian sites in Iran, and as you can see, it's on top of this hill. So I'd better get moving. Yes. Over the years, there have been many excavations at the Nushijan fortress/temple, and they have revealed several layers of structure. One layer was built by the Medes, the second layer by the Achaemenians, and the third was constructed during the Sassanid period. The Nushijan fortress/temple was registered on the list of Iran's National Cultural Heritage in 1968. If you take a quick look around, you can see the remains of chambers, storerooms, the pillared hall or apadana, and the fire temple or atashkar. This site is 20 kilometers to the west of the city of Malayer, which is perfect for us since that's where we're headed next. If you take a minute and think about the age of this fortress, you'll realize that the city of Malayer has a lot of history behind it. The name of the city, Malayer, comes from two Kurdish words, Mal meaning home and Ayer meaning fire, which come to home of fire or fire temple. But unlike the name, the weather is mild this time of year.
شهر ملایر تقریبا از زمان قاجار اون بافت شهرنشینیش تقویت شد. اونم به جهت حضور یکی از شاهزادگان قاجار به نام سیف الدوله بود که فرزند عضدالدوله بود. ایشون اومد سالها اینجا حکومت داشت که کارهای بسیار خوبی تو سطح شهر ملایر انجام دادن.
There are those who stand out, not because of what they possess, but because of the things they accomplish. Saif-ud-Dawla, who was a Qajar prince, is one of them. A man whose good deeds not only affected the people living in his time, but also influenced the future generations. On a trip from Kermanshah to Tehran, Mohammad Mirza Qajar, known as Saif-ud-Dawla, spent a day in Malayer to rest. He decided to buy the city from the government and use its income to endow hospitals, schools, and to help the people in need. He passed away in the city of Malayer and on his request was put to rest in the same spot he had made the decision to buy the city for his endowments. One of Seyfuddoleh's endowments is the Sayfiya Park, which is considered to be one of the oldest parks in the west of Iran. Sturdy and strong, aligned in perfect rows, reaching out to touch the clouds, these old sycamore trees have been spreading their cool shadows over this park for years. The Sayfiya Park has an area of 10 hectares, and it took us all morning to cover only a part of it before we felt we had to go for lunch. Aubergine or eggplant, which in Farsi we call bademjan, is a vegetable that's used to create a variety of mouth-watering Iranian cuisines. Ash bademjan, which is a tasty and thick broth, is prepared with aubergines and is one of Malayer's local dishes. There are more than 50 types of ash that are prepared here in Iran. The main ingredients needed to make ash bademjan are aubergines, lentils, chickpeas, beans, onions, garlic, kashk, which is a whey-like fermented dairy product, and a lot of other stuff.
آش بادمجون از غذاهای سنتی و خیلی قدیمی ملایره و غذای پری هم هست، یعنی همه چی داره. بعد تو عروسی‌ها، مهمونی‌های بزرگ، البته اونا که خیلی کلاس داشتن به قول معروف، حتما آش بادمجون رو درست می‌کردن تو سفره.
Ash bademjan is usually decorated with fried mincemeat, mint, onions and garlic before being served along with a sweet dessert such as halwa. They look delicious, they taste just as good, and are both quite fulfilling. And now that we're all fed and watered, let's head out to our next destination.
شهرستان ملایر دارای 308 اثر تاریخی و ابنیه تاریخی است که مهمترینشون شامل موزه لطفعلیان و یا عمارت مصدقی است که یک موزه مردم شناسی است در ملایر قرار گرفته.
The Lotfalian house was commissioned by its original owner, Mohsen Mossadeqi, known as Mossadegh al-Mulk, who was a relative of the Qajar king Fathali Shah. Mossadegh al-Mulk used his connections to employ the skills of talented master architects to build the house. Later on, Murtaza Khan Lotfalian bought the house, and it came to be known as the Lotfalian house. Every single one of the old houses that is still standing in Malayer was tailor-made. It's a little bit hard to imagine what the intricate blueprints for these buildings might have looked like, but it's safe to say that the architects knew what they were doing. I mean, just look at all of this. The Lotfalian house was purchased by the Department of Cultural Heritage of the city of Malayer in 2004, and after restoration became the Museum of Anthropology to display the local customs, culture and history of the city, showcasing old vases and jugs and much, much more. The house is made up of 3 courtyards, with each section constructed at different time periods. The winding corridors and the old sliding sash windows that open onto the courtyard give you a taste of age-old Iranian architecture. Time passes quickly when you're enjoying yourselves, and honestly, I would have loved to stay here a little bit longer. However, it's that time of day when Malayer's old bazaar comes to life. According to old records, bazaars have existed since ancient times, going back to the time of the Medes. The bazaar of Malayer isn't as old, but it does go back to the Qajar period. And just like any other bazaar in Iran, it's made up of arched passages with many chambers filled with different kinds of goods. The bazaar is buzzing with people. Bazaars are usually divided into different sections by professions and types of goods. For instance, you can see carpet weaving all over Iran, but each part of Iran has its own design and popularity depending on the quality of the woven carpets. In the old days, giveh was worn by most people in Iran, especially in mild weather and in rural and mountainous areas. Giveh has a durable hand-woven top made from wool, so it's quite soft and comfortable. The furnace is hot and the iron is blazing. The blacksmith is pounding and pounding on the anvil until he creates the shape that he needs. In this section of the bazaar, you can find really fresh fruit at low prices. Some of these fruits were picked from the fields only hours ago. In Iran, the city of Malayer is known as the city of green vineyards. Thousands of hectares of orchards, grapes as far as the eye can see. It's a perfect place to spend a relaxing day out, and the perfect time of year to visit would be during August and September. The green fields are an obvious reminder of the summer season, and the color of the grapes whisper in the farmers' ears that it's time they were harvested. Family members gather round and start picking the ripe grapes, while the elders tell stories of their younger days. This is bliss indeed. Gulnar Farnudi for Iran.